Ladies and gentlemen,
only the best internet radio station in the world.
oh yeah!
No, the universe.
The KotaiRadio Network.
Back by popular demand.
Woo!
Now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
I'm your DJ.
DjBBQ.
It's done over 400 events.
Oh yeah!
5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air.
Let's get ready to rumble!
3, 2, 1, let's go.
This is UnCut Live. Now, here's DjBBQ. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DjBBQ of the KotaiRadio Network, and Nick, you're going to like this one. I'm going to welcome a special guest. Wild, the man himself from Grambling, Nick Harris. Woo! Had to put the mic in there.
I like it. I like it. Harrison.
Harrison, yes. See, I screwed it up. My bad.
Happens all the time.
The co-owner of this podcast is going to give me a lot of crap for that because he's like, you can't even get through a segment without screwing up. So,
all good, man. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. This is a huge honor because, man, like we were talking off camera, off recording, off the record. Yeah, that's what they like to say in the business. Quotations. There was 3 individuals that I saw when I first started, and I will admit, I told my son that this wasn't, TikTok wasn't a great thing, and so I got on TikTok. Now I do it, all this stuff. But I saw 2 other individuals, and I saw you. Now, like I told you, the second promo that I noticed with you and that you did on the video was so passionate. And then it made me go make my own video and say classes in session. Like you do have on your call name, you're the professor. So, Professor, please introduce yourself and classes in session, ladies and gentlemen.
First of all, thank you for the fantastic introduction. My name is Nick Harrison, otherwise known as the Professor in a lot of different places. I am I don't know what to say. I'm a teacher by trade, but I do love some social media, and I now have, I think, around 112,000 followers on TikTok. I have no idea why, but I appreciate it. I also do other stuff. I host and I do karaoke and all these other things. But I love promos and I love wrestling, and it is a big part of my life. And I'm really excited to talk about it and share my world with you today.
Well, I can say one thing, though, is I may have a mic right here, but I will not sing karaoke because ears will bleed, and we don't need to ruin people's listening so they can actually listen to our podcast. And we only got a few listeners by the means anyway, so that's what our co-owner likes to say. There's only a few, so I don't want to get rid of our few that we already have.
It's about having fun,
Right.
It's about having, as long as you have fun, really bad.
Right? Speaking of fun, how did you get into TikTok? And we're going to get into the other parts of why that connects with professional wrestling so well. How did you get into TikTok?
So at the beginning of 2020, a friend of mine, my best friend in the world, her name is Erica, and she and her husband and her kids are all on TikTok. They were like, you gotta get on TikTok. It's so much fun. I was like, I've heard about it. Seems like a kid's app.
Yep.
But I downloaded it and gave it a try. And I saw a couple videos, and it was a bunch of like kids and teenagers dancing. And I said, nope, not for me. And I deleted it. I deleted it like immediately. Yeah. I didn't even have it for a full day. I was like, yep, nah, I don't have that much space on my phone. Let me get rid of it.
Right.
And then right as the pandemic hit, I was invited to this group by another friend of mine, a fellow teacher here. I live in Monroe, Louisiana. And she started a group on Facebook called TikTok Rocks. And she was like, you need to join my TikTok group. I said, sure, but I don't have a TikTok. And she was like, well, go ahead and get one. I mean, what else are you going to do? Can't leave the house. Just look at it. So I got on and I started to see some really cool stuff that wasn't kids dancing, like because there were a lot of teachers who were on there like me, and there were a lot of 30-something, 40-somethings that were on there just having fun with their favorite music and movies. And like a couple years before the whole TikTok thing even started, there was an app that's still around called Dub Smash. And I used to do Dub Smash all the time. And Dub Smash was you just recording like clips from movies. So that's what I started doing. But with TikTok, the stuff is repurposed for different like situations that could fit that and relatable situations that people go through. So I was able to kind of use that and be creative with a couple of different things. And I really started to have fun with it. And other people really started to enjoy it because the beginning of it for me was really just trying to help people get through everything we were going through. Because I didn't get on TikTok until mid-April. So we had just got sent home. We were just at the house, not doing anything. I was working during the pandemic. I'd been offered a job working with childcare, providing childcare for some of the frontline workers here in the area, folks who were working at the local hospital so that they didn't have to worry about where their kids were going to be.
Right.
And so kids could be in a stable and clean environment. And I was doing that all day because I was there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then I would come home, dog tired, shower, get in some comfortable clothes, and just start making videos. And it got to be really fun. So I just kept doing it, and it's still fun. And that's how I got into it, and that's why I'm still on it now.
I'm just going to put it out there. When you started putting out your Dub Smash videos, I, made a couple comments on there, and I was like, well, I like the guy. He seems like he likes me cheering him on, and I was just going to throw that out there. So, I put that So Raven actor on there because because no one's ever seen you without a beard, and you put that out there, or at least I never did.
No, that's So Raven. Wait, no, Kyle Massey was like her brother on that So Raven?
Yeah.
House here, that guy. Yeah. So, look, there was a time where I did not have this luscious mane on my face. I had a bald head and a bald face. So and that's when I was into Dub Smash, and I found some of my old videos. So I was like, well, maybe I could post a couple of these, because there's still one more in my drafts that I haven't posted yet, because all of them really don't do well. As well, I said they don't do as well as my other videos, and it's mostly because people are like, "Where's the beard?" The beard
is this who I think it is? Like,
I don't know. Like, some of them are funny, but the lack of beard kind of rubs people the wrong way. So I try not to.
I know. This is as the people that go to our YouTube channel will probably see. This is quite a long. I'm not afraid. I got a summer beard, so some here, some over here, some right there. I don't got that quality. I get quite Beard Laws gives me some quite compliments, but he's trying to boost my hurt feelings because I can't grow a beard.
Stop for everybody. Everybody.
No, it's not. And apparently I don't get the genes, so I got this little line here, and that's about it.
Yeah, this is way longer than I ever expected it to be, but I don't see it getting cut anytime soon. So,
don't cut it. I've already seen, like, if you know Beard Laws, he's already had heart attacks several times because he sees people cutting it clean shaven, and he's all about promoting the beard, and that the beard is the power to be. So you got to make sure you keep it. Now, you bring Kyle Massey up. Now, I apologize. I was trying to be funny. I was sweating a little bit because I was waiting. It's like, oh my God, he's gonna comment, and he's probably gonna be like, who's this guy? I don't even know who this guy. And look at this guy's saying this. Oh, how and then when you laughed about it, I was like, woo.
Yeah, that one was kind of funny to me. Like I love your comments on my videos, especially the ones about Huey, because
yeah, your video Huey, yeah.
Like, Huey, give him a message for me. I love it. I love it. Oh, yeah.
Let's give the listeners and the viewers a little backstory about the Huey, where I got that and why I started saying that, because it was one of your videos. Obviously, all your videos are pretty passionate when you're doing promo, and we're going to get to this connection with TikTok and professional wrestling here soon. But let's do a little background. So tell the listeners and viewers what you were doing.
So I have a video on TikTok that has over 1 million views. I think it's at 1.5 million now. And it's the chicken and the corn won't grow. I'm sitting in my truck, and when he starts talking about chicken and the corn, I put the corn cob out. And like people just really thought that was funny. So after it hit 1 million views, I did a video which was a dub of some audio from I think it was from American Gangster, the Washington movie. It's like no, from now on, nobody talk to me directly. Yep. Talk to Huey. Huey, you talk to me. And what's funny to me about that video specifically is because that's one of my middle names.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
My full name is Nicholas Raphael Huey Harrison. Huey is my dad's last name.
Okay.
And he wanted his last name to be a part of my name when I was born, so they put the Huey in there. So when I posted that video on Facebook, I tagged my brother, whose last name is Huey, and I was like, yeah, from now on, y'all talk to him when you want to talk to me. So it all just fit, man, and it's just funny. So I did that. You really liked that video.
I thought it was great because it's like the promos it equaled, you know. I was thinking pro wrestling, and like I said,
like wearing a jacket with no shirt and a chain, and like some keys and a hat.
I mean, this podcast is all about Mr. Professor here, but look at what Lou does. Lou has his manager. I think it's perfect.
I was dressed like Lucius.
Yeah.
Slade. So,
well, I mean, for entertainment purposes, Huey's probably a little better than Lucius. I'm just saying, we'll ride that gear a little bit. I mean, you got a thing coming up here soon. I said it. Yes, I'll say it. I said it. Not you. I said it. I mean, wink, wink.
Shout out to Lou Nonsense and Lucius Slade.
Right, man. You guys got that battle coming up, but TikTok, I've been saying, has a connection with professional wrestling. I'm friends with Eugene, and I've seen how he teaches his students how to cut promos and all that, and then have a connection with you. The passion. You talk normal. You're not talking like you're reading off a cue card, that you're not scripted. I think TikTok and pro wrestling kind of is a great tool for pro wrestling, because then they can actually, know how to cut promos a lot easier, do a lot better detail, and basically you can edit, and so it just comes out smoother. What about pro wrestling that connects you with TikTok?
Well, when I first got on there were a couple people, like you said, there are a few people that you saw immediately. And for me, there were 3. There was R-Truth, who's big on TikTok.
Oh, hilarious guy.
His videos are great.
Yeah.
Matt Thomas, much like you.
Yep.
Which he was one of the first ones that I watched. And I would just like go through his whole profile, because like his comedy stuff was so funny to me. Which I did a takeoff from one of his with the Shorty Little Baddie, She My Little Boo thing. But he did it, I think, with Matt Hardy and Edge, and I did it with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
Yep.
But his stuff was so funny, and I would just sit there and watch his videos all the time. And I ended up watching some of Sandy's stuff, and he was cutting promos about being the TikTok United States champion and being way too damn good. So I called him out one day, and it just kind of escalated from there to where we had a match. Now, Sandy won the match. It wasn't like a judge thing or a lights battle like they do now or anything like that. It was more of like storyline type stuff. The match between Sandy and I really enjoyed because it got my name out there in the TikTok wrestling community, which at the time was still growing, with Sandy and Skylar Mars and Meredith Bell and Trash Panda God, Heel Panda God, Heel Hugs, and of course Lou Nonsense. Just some of the top names in the TikTok wrestling community. Just they are extremely talented and a lot of fun to work with. And Sandy was really cool. Sandy's great on camera, but he's really good behind the scenes too. He has a great mind for what they're trying to do with TTWF. And I'm very excited to be a part of what's happening with them now, because now my wrestling content is getting a lot more views, especially since I started doing the rock stuff. So it's all really cool, especially if you're a wrestling fan. Yeah. Because one of the great things about TikTok is finding those connections. There's so many different communities that you could be a part of. And, you know, I do I'm a teacher of TikTok. I do clean TikToks. I don't curse. Don't do any lewd content or anything like that. It's all pretty it's close to PG-13 without being PG-13, I guess. Right. That's about as dark as my stuff gets. But it's all a lot of fun, and being a part of all these different communities. And now the TikTok wrestling community is really growing, and I'm happy to see it. Well, you know, it's a lot of people probably don't know about it, and maybe hopefully a lot will listen to this or watch this on YouTube or listen on the podcast. They'll get the idea that, you know, just try it, you know, get the confidence to do it. Because honestly, because I know when I was a kid watching WCW Nitro, flipping back and forth, my parents never liked wrestling, so I had to go downstairs and try to sneak to watch it. But who didn't try to cut promos themselves? You know, who didn't try to make up something? I'll even call myself out and put myself on the bus here. I had a character called Vega, and I would cut, and yeah, I had my football spandex pants on and all this other stuff and socks and stuff. You know, I was trying to look like Vega, you know, cutting this promo. Hulk Hogan, I'm going to take you out, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm going to, you know, get you Chris Jericho, you know. But, I mean, this gives people plenty of options to live out that, you know, dream, because promo battles is fun to do. You know, it gives everybody an opportunity to show their own character. It's a lot of fun, and it's all the stuff, the promo cutting and the stuff that you see on TikTok is all an offshoot of Electronic Federation, or EFEDs. Yeah. Which have been around for a long time. Let's just get into it. I started doing this type of stuff in the late 90s, around 99. It was straight message boards. Yeah. Then. I was in college at Grambling State, yeah, and a buddy of mine was like, you know, there's something that I think you might be interested in, because he was really into wrestling too. So he said, you know, there's these things called EFEDs where you like go on, and we were on GeoCities, and we get on the message boards, and we do all of these different, you know, you type out your promo, and they would look at it and they would put it into like this randomizer and pick winners for these matches based off they'd score your promo, and based off the strength of what you did with certain things, they would determine a winner. And I took to it like a duck to water. And I had my first gimmick was the innovator Chris Wells, because I was a big fan of ECW at the time, and I loved Tommy Dreamer, who was the innovator of violence. Right. So, and full disclosure, Chris Wells was the name that I used to give girls back in college when I didn't want them to know my real name. So I'd say, hey, my name is Chris Wells. So it was the innovator Chris Wells. It all just came together. And hey, it's smooth. It runs together. The gimmick worked. People liked it. And it was, you know, the guy looked like Booker T, but he talked like Ric Flair. and people just dug it. So I won a bunch of championships back then, but after a while, I just stopped doing it. You know, I got into grad school. I started doing all of that stuff. I didn't really have time to do some of the extracurriculars, and it wasn't until hold on, before I started back with eFeds, which wasn't until the mid 2000s. Actually mid 2010s, around 2015. I was a part of, and still am, a part of an independent wrestling organization here in North Louisiana called Bayou Independent Wrestling.
Okay.
BIW had me as a heel manager. So, I started off as just a plant in the crowd, but one of the guys that would always come and harass me, they were saying, well, he's finally had enough and he's going to be a special guest referee for a no disqualification match, and ended up turning on his opponent and turning heel and starting a heel stable with that guy and a couple of other guys. Funny enough, we were called the Inner Circle. Right?
Get those residuals right now.
I tweeted Jericho when he first started doing that. I was like, hey, man, you owe me some money. But it was.
You're gonna have to talk to Meredith because Meredith worked with him. So
I'm gonna tell Meredith to talk to Huey.
There you go, Huey. Get on the phone. Get this done.
So, but and that was for years, and I still work with him now. But I'm not a heel manager anymore. I turned face a couple years ago, and now I am the good guy commissioner of Bayou Independent Wrestling. But it was doing that for a while, for years, was really great, and still doing it now. But then around 2015, a buddy of mine turned me on to how eFeds are done now, which is these groups on Facebook where you take a video of yourself cutting a promo and you post it. And, you can either be a part of a judged fed or a storyline fed and compete against other people. And that's what I do now. And I've been pretty successful in eFeds, multiple time world champion, multiple time like Intercontinental North American champion. Had a good career doing eFeds, and it's all a hobby. I'm not sitting here like, yeah, I've won actual world championships. It's fun to do. It's great competition. It's great camaraderie. I love doing it. And the Fed that I'm a part of now, I'm an exclusive to iWrestling, IW, which is the best eFed there is, bar none. Just working with the guys there. We've had different, and I don't know what I can and cannot say, but as a part of our Fed, we've had multiple former WCW, Ring of Honor, WWE talents, even a WWE Hall of Famer.
Right, cool.
That has done some stuff with us, and that's all thanks to a gentleman who lives out in Las Vegas and has a Fed called Future Stars of Wrestling, which is an actual thing. They work with Impact all the time. His name's Rocky.
Oh, right on.
And Rocky is the man. I don't know. There's a viral video that came out about a year or so ago of Michael Jackson wrestling. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
That Santana guy that does the Santana Jackson.
I don't know. Like it was a Michael Jackson impersonator doing like wrestling stuff in a ring, and that was Rocky T's stuff.
Oh, okay.
Rocky is an awesome guy and has been a great help to iWrestling and IW, and the owner David Jones is amazing person. So just being a part of IW and working with them for the past couple of years has been the best part of my eFed career. But when I got over to TikTok and I saw that people were cutting promos, I was like, wait a minute, we can do this here?
Yeah.
So sign me up. And the one thing about it that was intriguing to me and kind of really stoked the fire in me to do it anyway was the fact that you can only do 1 minute. And so you've got to compact everything that you want to say to your opponent into really under 60 seconds because it won't let you post a 60-second video. It's got to be like 55, 56, 58 seconds. So you really have to get it in there. Now, most of my stuff, really all of my stuff, there's no like jump cuts, anything like that. I'm talking for a minute straight, and I get it all in there. Like there's no editing, there's no cutting. The only edit to the video is the music that I use, which my theme music is "No Church in the Wild" by Kanye West.
Yeah.
Which there's an actual story behind that too that we could probably get into another time. But it's the whole idea of TikTok and wrestling, just it all, especially doing the promo stuff, it just called to me. And getting to do the stuff with Sandy was really dope. Getting to do the back and forth with guys like Heel Hugs and Skylar Mars has been really awesome. But after doing all of that stuff and having a couple of matches, and you know, the big through line is that I haven't really won a whole lot since I've been on TikTok, but there's different reasons and circumstances behind all of that. The bottom line is when I started doing all of that, I really caught some eyes, and one of the people that I caught the eyes of was Lou Nonsense, the TikTok World Heavyweight Champion. And I had heard from sources that he had his eye on me. So I dropped a promo one day, and all I said at the end of it was, "What's up, Lou?" And the next thing you know, there was a response video from Lou Nonsense saying, "I accept your challenge." And I was like,
just trying to find that video because that was cool. I marked out, I gotta say, because I'm not gonna lie about it. I never knew anything about e-feds. I never got a chance to understand that until maybe one other person. And then I hear a lot of you guys on TikTok talk about e-feds, and it is interesting that was available, because I think I probably would have definitely got into that because I was doing that all the time. But when you said it was a minute and they were actually not really a minute recordings, and you don't edit them, it's just the songs that you do. But I think that in a way that fine tunes somebody's like speaking to do promos a lot better than normal.
One day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to either email you or send you through some sort of social media one of my e-fed promos, which go anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes usually, where the whole like we have intros and like Titantrons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like have a whole intro that I have edited that I use before some of my promos, and I put the music underneath the actual promo and that kind of stuff. Some people use special effects. I have a green screen set up in my bedroom right now just specifically for e-fed stuff.
Oh, right.
So
on.
It's, just doing the backgrounds and all of that. It's all of that really adds to the ambiance of it. Like it makes it feel like, remember when you used to watch those old WWF promos and the guy would have like the green screen background?
Yeah, yep.
Like that, it kind of gives you that feel of it, and it's just really cool to be a part of. So it's just I'm very pleased with where the game is now, because that's what it is. It's a game. Play a game. Right. But it's so much fun, to put into your hobby. Like I have T-shirts, and that's what I was telling you. I have T-shirts that are specifically made because of my e-fed stuff. They have my tagline, "Be Great," and got all of my nicknames on the back of it. I have a championship belt that I made personalized with my name on it, with Be Great on it, with IW on it, because I'm, again, IW exclusive. But it's just, it is really, that's all it's for. It's for use for that stuff, and because I love it so much. Hobbyists will put, time and effort and their own funds into their hobby because it's something that brings them pleasure and joy, and it's something that they love to do. From bird watchers to coin collectors to collectors of any sort. And so this to me is like that. E-feds are a really fun game and hobby that you can be a part of as long as you remember that it's that. Like, there are some people who will take it too seriously and be like, "Oh man, I should have won that match." You understand that this is like a game, right? Like, we're having fun. Like, I don't know if I've ever complained about losing a match. because I have so much fun doing it.
Right.
You know, I love
Which
to
is
win,
great.
but I'm not gonna cry because I lost because it's
Yeah.
a game. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm trying to find that first SummerSlam promo that you made, that you had this new catchphrase where it was the feast for the beast.
Oh yeah, the feast for the beast.
And
Because
I see it's SummerSlam promo too, but I'm trying to figure out how far back that promo was.
the first promo 2 was the one that I did yesterday. So the first promo was probably last Thursday. The second promo was the one I did yesterday. So the first promo was from last Thursday.
So which one
So
would it
go
be
back-
tagged under? Proof
you
says
should-
for reals. Thank you for 10. I have to find this one to play it because it was. Is it?
It should have.
My beast is hungry. But his hunger cannot be quenched by tiny morsels, small bites. It has to be the big game. It has to be the prey that is bigger than big, that is larger than large, that is larger than life, that is legendary, that is nonsense. See, my hunger can only be satisfied by becoming the new TikTok World Heavyweight Champion. So what are you gonna do, Lou, when my hunger is so ravenous that it cannot be satisfied? Very simple, Lou Nonsense. I will not be stopped until my hunger is satisfied, which means you, Lou, will become the prey. You, Lou Nonsense, are now officially the feast for the beast, and I will have my feast at SummerSlam.
I absolutely love that, dude. You kill it, bro. You kill it. I'm gonna act like a 1990s like Californian surfer, bro. You totally killed that. Slash that, dude. Yo, like, oh my goodness, man. That you guys are gonna be phenomenal at this. I think more people need to know.
Lou came right back with one. Where he was standing on his balcony, and just I love his tagline is, I think, sit back and reflect.
Yeah,
and I enjoy it. He has a much more calm demeanor than I do. When it comes to his stuff, it's a very smooth delivery, but it's effective, and I enjoy. And his wordplay is amazing too.
Oh,
so I love
it works.
I love his wordplay. I love what he's able to do. It's a lot of fun to be able to compete against him, because when you do this kind of stuff, you want to compete against the best. And Lou Nonsense, he's the champ, so he's the best. So I'm very pleased. But we are still cool with each other. Yeah, like Lou is, there's no animosity between he and I. I know I'm breaking kayfabe here, and I'm sorry, but we get, we chat. Like for example, a couple of weeks ago, he put up this video where he was roasting people from the TikTok Wrestling Federation, and he talked about me and Skylar Mars and Sandy Ravage and Trash Panda God, and it was so funny when he did it because I had to roast him back. So he does these never forget videos.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That was funny.
And I did one where talk about him not having a beard because last year, if you go back to his videos from 2019, he didn't have any facial hair.
Yeah.
So it was so fun, and people still get on him today because he did a duet with me and Steven Johnson, the announcer for TTWF, where we're all walking like Vince McMahon. Yeah. And somebody commented on the video, Michelangelo, nah, which is something that I said in the video about him. So and he commented underneath that comment saying, "Look what you started," and it's all fun. We all have such a good time doing this stuff because for us it's fun and it's a good time. As long as you keep that in mind, that it's a game and it's fun. there for you
we
to have
talked.
time to enjoy it.
Yeah, we talked about this though too, because like it seems like both of us got on there. Obviously, one person. I'll let the viewers and the listeners decide who is more popular on TikTok, because we only have like 680. But it was during the pandemic, and I'll be honest, and I don't think a lot of people, even in the podcast world, talk about enough. But I have like depression, so like mental health is something that is true to the heart. So like this is from my point of view of seeing you guys like Lou and Matt and Sandy and Kevin and Hugs and everybody. And I don't mean not to say everybody's name, but just everybody in general. And a lot of the other ones, Iron Sanctuary, Beer Brog John, Meredith, God bless her soul. The positivity and the entertainment side that comes from that, like, is really satisfying, because one, it's not negative. I mean, yeah, you got your negative, and then you can, pass by that, but it's all positive. And you can tell you guys are having fun. And I tried to cut a promo, and I tried to call out Matt Thomas, but I'm not in any category. I mean, heck, our co-host, Cole Dawson, he likes to say it, and he gave me permission, big brother of Candice LeRae, and, little bro-in-law of Johnny Gargano, but he'd tell me I can't cut a promo if my life depended on it. I tried. It's hard for the ears to hear, but I put some of those out there. But yeah, you guys do such a great job, such a positivity. So the mental health, yes, it helps seeing that. And thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah, I had told you before, like, part of the reason why I got on TikTok in the first place was because of stuff like that. I've dealt with not depression per se, but I've dealt with mental health issues and body dysmorphia, and I've sought counseling a couple of years ago. And this kind of stuff, whenever I get a comment under one of my videos with somebody saying, I've had a hard day, this made me smile, thank you so much. Your videos always put a smile on my face. I love laughing at your stuff. I mean, that's why I do it. I do it because there's so many people, especially now, and everything that's going on around us now.
Right.
It's, we spend so much time worrying about this, that, and the other, that to have a little time where we can just be like, funny and good music and heartwarming things and things that entertain me and make me laugh and and these like little snippet bites. It makes me happy to make others happy.
And
so that's why I love it.
We also mentioned this a little bit because also I want to add in Toby also with you, because you guys also do your funny jokes and your positivity, but you guys also have some teachings that also helps people as well. Like, it's not like you lecture people is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, you guys have certain ways of having it said, and it's kind of a learning thing for people to realize, well, hey, we need to rethink some things that we say or some things that we do. And like, the messages that you both of you put out, and you're on here, so I'll let Toby, if I ever get a chance and the honor to interview him, we'll talk more about with what you're doing. But the positive stuff that you do in your videos on outside of the pro wrestling promos, I thank you for them, because I think a lot of people need to hear and listen to that. I've shared a lot of them just so that people are like, hey, he's speaking the truth. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, just be a good person. So I like to thank you on that one.
Hey man, it's no problem. I'm an advocate of positivity, specifically body positivity, because I feel like men don't get fairly represented in that category. And let me clarify by saying that I feel like they don't get fairly represented as far as being affected by the stuff.
Yeah.
Look at men and they say, well, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that, you're supposed to be strong, you're not supposed to let that kind of stuff get to you. But we deal, like you said, with depression, with body issues all the time. And it's comforting for a lot of people to know that there's somebody who goes through the same thing that they go through. And that's one of the great things about TikTok, is that there's so much content that's relatable.
Right.
you will find your audience if you open yourself up and you make yourself relatable. I did the video like a week ago or over the weekend where I took my shirt off the camera, which was big for me because I worry about that kind of stuff and my body image and how people perceive and see me. And there was one that I did a couple weeks ago where I said it's okay to not be okay, and that's a mantra that I've had in my life for years now, where it's okay for you to speak up and say, I'm not doing well right now.
Right. Because
to keep it inside only makes it worse. So it's really cool that I'm able to put myself out there like that, and then people find the content that I put out there when it comes to that. So I really appreciate that.
I did that video where you guys were walking like Vince McMahon. Lou actually duetted, so I saw that. I was gonna duet yours, and then I saw Lou do it, so I'm like, oh, this would be perfect. I like both of you guys, and then the other person that was there doing it, so I did it. But I didn't have like my whole body, like my whole upper body showing, walking like Vince McMahon like you did. But there's a lot of people that are big guys in general that won't show anything below their chin when they're doing that. So I'm a big guy. I put on a suit. Yeah, the shirt maybe was a little bit too small, but I did it just to say, hey, you can go do it. Yeah, I'm a big guy. I go out there, wear shirts, cutoffs, but not everybody is able to do that. So maybe just a little bit of what you did or a little bit of what I did or anybody out there that has done, maybe that helps somebody else out there. And that's just the positivity, man. It is awesome.
That's big, man. Like if you can reach one person, like all it takes is one. You reach one person and you've done something good. If you can reach multiple people, and that's great, but you reach one person, you reach out to one person and you help them kind of cope and deal and can help. They can relate to what you're talking about and what you're going through. Right. You've done a beautiful thing.
That's just like another interview I was just doing before we did this one with Chris Logan for an event in Des Moines, Iowa. It's called Black Wrestlers Matter. And the name is kind of, controversial with a lot of things, the way things are going around, but it has all different varieties of individuals. Yes, it pertains just with individuals that resonate as black wrestlers that are in there that don't get a fair share because they, don't live in the certain areas where they can go to these bigger shows to get, seen. So they're doing this, they're doing it charities, and they're raising money. John and Chris and everybody else out there is doing a great job. But when I was talking to Chris, he said the same exact thing. He goes, he gets a lot of stuff or guff about, why do you sometimes, because he's a police officer in Chicago, he goes, why do you talk to those kids if they don't listen? He goes, if I just get one kid to listen, that might also rub off onto the other kids later on, not just because it was at that time. Maybe that one kid got the idea of what I was talking about that one time while I was with him. But then later on, even though those kids didn't listen when we were all together, maybe they'll listen later on. And that's a positive. That little one positive is always good to have out there. And I'm glad that more and more people put that voice out there and that word out there.
It's first of all, I commend what he went out there. I think that's something that's important, especially now. So, but it's just that's something, because I was helped, and I was helped out of a dark place in my life, in a dark time, by people who surrounded me and helped me to understand that it's okay to say that I wasn't okay.
Right.
And that, I live a pretty stress-free kind of life. I don't try to let things get to me like I used to get to me all the time, because I know that it could always be worse. And things are better now than they were at another time in my life. So I thank God every day for just being happy, the blessing of being able to just be me. Just to be happy to be.
Right. And you're talking about other things in life and being blessed. And another thing that you're blessed with is to be able to help other people and talk to people outside of TikTok. And that I've seen you do some videos that are inspiring. I think you do have, and I don't know how to say it correctly, but you're like a school at a church.
Yeah, I work in my children's ministry.
That's what it is. Yep.
Yeah, and it's that to me. That's one of the things that helped me out of my dark place.
Right on.
Years ago, I started working there, and so the children's ministry is in this church called the Assembly in West Monroe, Louisiana, and it has helped me so much. And I'm very close with people in that church. So to be able to pour into those kids that I was poured into it means a lot to me to be a part of that. And I go every Sunday and I volunteer and I work there and I work with the kids. I tell a Bible story every Sunday, and I make the kids laugh while trying to teach them and entertain them and educate them, I guess you could say. So it's a lot of fun, and it's, again, you get to reach that one kid, say, Mr. Nick, I appreciate what you've done your job.
I just got to let you know and let the listeners know that sometimes the voice kind of changes a little bit. It's probably my fault. We're using Skype, so your voice kind of comes out as, like, if you ever seen Star Wars, sometimes the voice is a little higher pitched than others, and then it goes back down. But I mean, it is what it is. We can still hear you. I just wanted you to know. So if you re-listen to the episode and you hear it, you'd be like, why didn't he tell me that? I could have adjusted the sound. So it's all good. We got the message out. But also, speaking of messages, your battle that you're going to have with Lou Nonsense, it's coming up. You've already done 2 promos, if I'm correct. I've seen the 2, but I haven't seen any others. So if I mistakenly said that there's only 2, I'm sorry. Talk a little bit about this promo battle.
Well, the way that it's being set up is that we're doing 3 promos apiece. The first promo was last week. The second promo is this week. Actually, Lou needs to drop his today, sometime probably before, I think 9 Central. He's going to need to drop one because he has 24 hours from the time that I drop mine.
Oh, okay.
And then he's going to do one and drop it today. And then we're going to do another one, I think Thursday, where he's going to drop one and then I have 24 hours to respond to him. And then after that one, a winner will be determined. So it'll basically culminate. Well, actually, no, I think the next promo is next week because it leads into SummerSlam.
Okay.
And SummerSlam is not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And that's when it's all going to culminate and come together. So it's a battle for the TikTok World Heavyweight Championship between myself and Lou Nonsense. And the winner will have a rightful claim to the belt. I don't know if I'm gonna. I'll probably have my own made, just because there's a certain style of belt that I want now. If I end up winning, and that's an if. I don't know if I'm gonna win.
Well, I've already made the comment on the video of who I already thought that the champ was here already. So if that was a little Easter egg, I don't know what it would be, but.
And there's a couple people who commented that, and it's just I give credit what credit is due, and I give respect where respect is due. Lou Nonsense is a fantastic promo artist.
Yes, he is.
He's very smooth with what he does, and I'm really interested to see how he responds to my last one talking about views and all that stuff. See what he says in response to that. And then what's going to be really cool is that he's going to do his today. And then next week, he's going to drop his before mine. So he's going to have 2 straight promos before I can make a response.
Right.
And that is going to, so my last promo is going to have to be something fire, and you can expect it to be.
Well, if the one that, what was that one that you did with the, I added fireworks because I said that the only thing missing from that promo was pyro. Do you remember that video that I talked about? I mean, if that was any indication of how fire your promos are, and your first one for SummerSlam, and then this one that we listened to, the second one that you have, man, I don't think we won't have to worry about them being fire. I mean, you go above and above and break that ceiling and break that ceiling. And plus, I mean, I'm not discrediting Lou. Lou does a tremendous job too. But I had this idea, but even before the show, what about Lucius and Huey battling it out? Manager versus manager.
If Lucius, like Huey, I was going to say it. Huey would be he would be a complete 180 from me. Like Huey would be very just like cocky and just brash and brazen. He would be like the heel me, like the bad guy me. I've done heel and E-Feds before. I haven't always been the good guy.
Yeah.
I just got finished doing a heel run, and heel me is so just like, I've thought about doing a TikTok, which would be quote unquote if the professor was a heel, like if the professor was #heel club.
Yeah.
And it would be a very cocky, I've got this nice watch on, I've got these nice accessories on, I always come on the camera fresh to death. Lucius Wade just wants to throw money at you and say, here's some cash. You're bothering me. You can't have my cash because you don't deserve to touch my money. My money deserves to be in my pocket. Doesn't deserve to be anywhere else. So Lucius Wade is just wasting money on you fools when I keep my money and put it where it deserves to be, in my pocket.
Right.
It would be a very stark contrast to the professor gimmick. So it just, I think that would be fun.
I think it'd be hilarious. I might have to start making little graphics to where they're fit the phone and TikTok, and just be like Huey versus Lucius, and I'll just keep posting those videos over and over, tagging everybody in there. I might get people to block me because of it, but I don't care. I think it would be money. Speaking of money, Lucius and Huey, everybody has a price. And you know where this is going. Everybody has a price. You have a story about somebody that's also about money, and you were a radio personality, or I still consider you as a radio personality. I honestly thought you were still in radio.
I still do it sometimes. For the better part of a decade, I worked at an ESPN radio affiliate here in North Louisiana. And for 2 of those years, I had my own show on the station called Halftime with Nick Harrison, which was basically a 1-hour show every week, 1 day a week, where I just talked about what happened in sports already, what was getting ready to happen for the rest of the week. And I would have guests on, and the guests would always be people that I really admired, and just it was always just I'd get to interview some of the coolest people. Like I got to interview Brandy Chastain, Olympic gold medalist soccer player who ripped her shirt off at the Olympics. Yeah. It's one of the most iconic images. Oh,
yeah. That's the one where she slid on her knees by the goal because it was the end of the game. She had her hands up like this, and
right. Exactly.
That was passion right there. The purest sports passion, if there was anyone. And yes, you're right. That's iconic.
And getting the chance to talk to her was a dream come true for me. Got to talk to former NFL players, especially if they played for the Saints, guys like Joe Horn and Kyle Turley and stuff like that. And even Chris Nowitzki, former WWE star, Chris Nowitzki.
Oh, the Stanford guy that does the concussions and stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about. That's how I got to talk to Brandy, because she worked with him with the Legacy Institute out in Boston, I think.
Yep.
And she was working with them talking about concussion protocol for soccer. So that's how I got to talk to her. And so one week, somebody asked, our station manager was like, they have this car show coming up. Would you like to interview the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase? I was like, yeah, I'd like to interview Ted DiBiase.
Yes.
So I got the chance to talk to him about his time in Mid-South Wrestling, which is big in this area because that was stationed out in Shreveport. And that's where a lot of guys like him and Junkyard Dog, Iron Mike Sharp, Shawn Michaels got it started in Mid-South Wrestling. Just a lot of guys who we remember from back in the day started there. So I talked to him about that and some other stuff, and it was really, really cool. And the interview got lost. Like, it was messed up. I wasn't able to provide it. And I was like, man, I've been promoting the $1 Million Man. What am I going to do? So I called him. I said, hey, the interview got messed up. Do you mind if we do it again? And he was so gracious and nice. And he said, yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
And sat there and talked to me for like 20, 30 minutes about his career. And I even got him to do the laugh, which was just amazing. And I could have retired right there.
Right.
So it was so cool. Like the brushes and instances that I've been able to have with professional wrestling I've gotten the chance to interview Samoa Joe and who else? ODB. I got to talk to her and she was fun. I got the chance to manage for TNA once because I was working for ESPN. They came to town for a house show and they were looking for like special guest managers, and I got to manage Davari. At the time, he was Sheikh Abdul Bashir in TNA, but I got to manage him and walk him out to the ring, and I even got a little mic time. I got to interfere in his match against Homicide for the X Division Championship. I was choking Homicide out on the rope while he was distracting the referee.
You're a brave soul, sir.
It was so surreal. I was like, oh my God, is this really happening right now? So it was just, to be able to do that kind of stuff. We used to have Jonathan Coachman on all the time because he did college football before he started with ESPN while he was still working with WWE. And they were doing Saturday Night's Main Event in Dallas. It was the one where Orton RKO'd Hogan on the back of his car.
Yeah.
And they, they were staying at the hotel right next to us, and Coach invited us over to hang out and have a couple of drinks. And I got to meet the Big Show, Jim Ross, Victoria, Tori Wilson, Candice Michelle, Todd Grisham. Victoria was there too. So it was really dope to be able to. It's been so cool to be able to rub shoulders with some of these big names. And a guy that you'll probably see tonight on AEW, Lance Archer.
Yeah.
The Murder Hawk. He wrestled for BIW a time or two.
Okay.
So, because he lives out in Dallas.
Yeah.
So being able to do some of that stuff and be a part of some of these things has just been really awesome.
Right on. That's really cool, man. Just talking to certain individuals like, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, okay? The iconic, so I completely understand what you're saying about the laugh with some Ted DiBiase. Here, you want to hear something that you probably haven't told you yet or even put it out on TikTok, but my son got an autograph from him. And so he has it down there, but I have a picture. So my son has the autograph 2x4. We have a picture. I'm in my, a suit and tie. Had to look, presentable. And I didn't even realize that I just, just last minute, put together a tie, whatever. And I kind of forgot about it. But then I'm running for mayor at this time, couple weeks later. I can officially put it out there, go get the signee signatures from valid legal residents, but registered voters of the community inside city limits for city councils. And I was running for mayor, and I came across the photo. I'm like, oh, perfect. So I sent it to him and I said, hey, sir, do I have permission to use this as one of my campaign pictures? If you say no, completely understand. I don't want to put you in politics. This is just city. This has nothing to do with one party or another. And he responded back to me. He goes, it would be my honor. And thank you for asking permission first. And I got to use that. And then you don't know how many times that picture started a conversation. So I can think of how great that was, because I'd love to talk to Ted DiBiase.
Oh man, it was a dream come true for me to be able to like sit down and talk twice.
Yeah.
So just to be able to sit down and talk to him about some of that stuff, especially about working with Ernie Ladd, the big cat, who's a WWE Hall of Famer, and he played football at Grambling State University.
Now, that's the school that you went to and graduated from, correct?
Yes.
Right on.
Yes, that's my hometown. You know, I grew up in Grambling. So, you know,
Right
Ernie Ladd was big, you know, around there, of course. So it was just cool to be able to talk to him about that, because he spoke so highly of Ernie Ladd and so well of Ernie. So it was
right
really
on.
cool.
Well, we're getting to about close to the end of the show, and I, would like to have a little more conversation with you after we're done recording here to get some of your information and all that. But is there anything that you want to put out there that you want to, promote, say, give this chance, take 5-10 minutes to say whatever you want, get it out there, and the platform's yours.
Okay. First off, thank you for having me. I truly, truly appreciate it. This has been so much fun. Anytime you want to have me back on, if you ever want to have me back on, just let me know, brother, and I'm down. Check me out on TikTok, of course, Mr. Professor 318. On all other social media, it's Mr._Professor. That's Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube. The link to my YouTube is on my TikTok and on some of my other social media pages. I think it's on Twitter too. You just look up Nick Harrison and you'll find me. I have a live cast / podcast that I need to get started back up called The Pay Window with Nick Harrison. It combines my loves of wrestling and Mystery Science Theater 3000, if that can even be a thing. Where I'm basically,
it's a thing. It's a thing. I like it.
I'm basically just watching really bad pay-per-views and critiquing them.
Oh,
and
gold.
I haven't done one in a while, but I need to get back to doing it, and probably need to post it on YouTube. But I love doing it, and I need to get back to doing it here soon. But it's just it's really cool to have had an opportunity to talk to you about this, because I don't really talk about eFeds outside of eFeds. So to have this platform to talk about something that I really do love doing and really do enjoy doing, and something that I find to be extremely fun.
Yeah.
It was a great outlet, and to talk about TikTok and how I've been able to kind of reach out to people on there, and how it's become a part of my life, and my faith and my work. Just being able to talk about that with you has been really great, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate your support on all the stuff that I do on social media. I really do. It means a lot to me that you would reach out to me to ask if I would do this, and that you comment on the stuff. I really do appreciate it. And just, again, anytime you need me, just let me know.
I laughed a little bit there because I remember what my son said, because I was always commenting on your videos. And, like I said, he's on TikTok. He's a pro wrestling referee for Midwest All Pro Wrestling. And he mentioned one time, he goes, Dad, he's probably going to get sick and tired of you blowing his phone up. And I just kind of thought about that for a little bit. And after you said this, like support and posting all my videos, it's like, oh, I hope my son didn't hear that. Because, I was like, one time I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to get pissed because I'm blowing his phone up all the time.
Anytime I get a notification and it says KotaBear Network, and it's got like the little bear head and the flame and all that stuff, I'm like, man, I wonder what he said. Like, real talk. It's always intriguing to me to see what you're gonna say. But it's I honestly, anybody that comments and shares and duets and just I truly appreciate it because it means a lot to me. I was telling a buddy of mine earlier. He was like, I did the dumbest video I've ever done on TikTok, which is saying something because a lot of my videos are dumb. But there's one that I did. It's a parody of Randy Orton's theme song, but instead of because I was telling you about it, and I was asking if you had seen it. You were like, "No, I haven't seen it yet."
No, I haven't yet.
It's his theme song goes, I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk. But for years, because one of the things that I would always do in radio, especially for sports radio, is parody songs. You go to my YouTube, it's a bunch of like sports parody songs. And it's like I was like the Black Weird Al of sports. It's weird. But I did one, I would always sing Randy Orton's theme song, but I would sing it wrong. So instead of I like voices in my head, I would say I like raisins in my bread. They taste so good. My favorite spread is marmalade. So
marmalade.
I like raisins in my bread. They taste so good. My favorite spread is marmalade.
Marmalade.
And it's me singing the song, and it's like the caption over it is Randy Orton's side hustle.
Yeah.
Orton brand marmalade. It's killer. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever done on TikTok. But I've been singing that song for years like that. So I was like, you know what? Today's gonna be the day. This is gonna
watch it. That's awesome.
And it's like it's so dumb. But I love it.
It's so creative though, because being able to do that, everybody takes songs and they change it, and once you can do it and it clicks and it's smooth, it's awesome. It's epic.
I don't know why I just had that on my mind today. I walked in the door after work today and immediately thought to myself, I need to find an instrumental to Randy Orton's theme song on YouTube. And lo and behold, I found one. Yeah. And I'm singing over it on this video. And I'm sitting there posing in front of the camera like Randy Orton while this song is going on in the background, trying to keep a straight face, knowing that I want to laugh ridiculously at this.
Oh, I bet it was hard.
It's so dumb, but it's
How many takes did it take you to do that without not laughing?
Like 3 or 4. Like I kept it's so, but I love it so much. And it was really just an inside joke for me and my friends, because as soon as it downloaded onto my phone, I ran to one of my chats and posted it and just started tagging people like, look what I did. This is for you guys. Look what I did. And they're like, oh my God, you actually put that on TikTok. Yep. Yes, I did. Nice. And I'm so proud of myself for doing the dumbest thing I've ever done on TikTok.
Yeah. That is an awesome story and a great thing to end this interview on, because it's a laughter and positivity, and that's all it's about. And that's what I'm about. Once again, tell the listeners and viewers where they can find you.
Mr. Professor 318 on TikTok, Mr._Professor on all of the social media, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. The pay window with Nick Harrison can be found on Facebook and my YouTube. You can find the link in pretty much all of my social media bios, the link to my YouTube, which I am trying to become more active on. So go check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be disappointed when you check out his videos on TikTok or any of his entertainment. The man knows what he's doing. He's the beast from the Southern Wild. He is Nick Harrison, not Harris, like I screwed up earlier in the show. Can't get through a segment, Cole. Yes, I know, without screwing it up. I appreciate you, man, for coming on. My name is DjBBQ. Everybody, thank you for watching, listening. Remember, we have a merch store. We're independent. We appreciate if you could support us because we appreciate you. Everybody, thank you and have a good night.
Kotai Radio Network is brought to you by Midwest All Pro Wrestling. Go to MidwestAllProWrestling.com and get tickets today. Remedy Brewing Company. It's the cure for what ails you. Jekyll and Hyde Barbecue. Jekyll and Hyde Barbecue makes barbecue so good, it'll put a smile on your face. And Kotai Radio Network is powered by KBack.Rock. Rock radio the way rock radio should be. Go to KBackRadio.com and listen today.